Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I got a special video for you today. I got a new review for Power Rangers Dino Charge. These are the new Mixx N Morph figures, and this is actually the first review that I'm recording with my new Canon EOS 70D camera. So let me know what you think of the video and audio quality. I hope it turns out pretty good, so we'll see. But anyways, here it is right here. These are the first wave of Mixx N Morph figures. It's technically not really even Power Rangers Dino Charge, it's just generic Power Rangers because there's multiple seasons represented. So I've seen these types of figures before for like Marvel and other things as well, and essentially they're like creative new little designs and you can mix and match all the pieces as the name kind of suggests. So there's a bunch of sets here, right? So we'll kind of take a look at each one of them up close. So I'll move my camera kind of up close here. So first up, we have these small little packages, right? So these figures, I honestly can't remember the prices. I honestly just don't remember. But here it is. So this is what the individual little figures look like. So this is the Mixx N Morph Dino Charge Black T-Rex Rangerzord. So they kind of made its own little name, but essentially it's like the Dino Charge Megazord, but in black color essentially, so a different color scheme. But it looks kind of interesting. I love the little artwork they have here, which kind of shows you the crazy combos you can have of figures. So I'm very excited to mess around with these. It's like Zord Builder, but for figures and like actual Rangers and all sorts of other interesting little combos. So that's pretty cool. So each of these is numbered, by the way. So looks like this is number 3. It looks like I got 1, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, and 11. So there's a couple more missing, so that means we are going to get even more figures. So definitely excited to see what they release there. So on the back, you have your kind of standard packaging here, Mixx N Morph. So there's number 3. It shows you right there. And essentially, it's really interesting because it shows collect and combine, and so it shows you an example of a combination that you can make with all of these. So if you got package number 1, which is up there, which I'll show you in a second, then you can use that body. And if you got package number 10, which is over here, then you can use this part here. So it kind of gives you an example of one of the crazy combinations you can make, which is really cool. So I do like that idea here. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So there's that. Let's go to number 1 then. Oops, all right. So number 1 is the Dino Charge Red Ranger. So this is just your standard Red Ranger figure right here, but of course you can break him into all sorts of pieces. He has this massive version of the, I forget what it's called, but it's a combined version of the Dino Saber and the Dino Charge Morpher, but you have that there, so that's pretty interesting. And the back shows you that little crazy combination, which is pretty interesting. I'll probably make my own little combinations. I'm not going to follow specifically what it shows in the back, but that's, you know, the possibilities are endless with this sort of thing, which is definitely pretty neat. So here is number 4 right here, or rather number 5, sorry. This is the Samurai White Claw Rangerzord. So it's from Samurai, but they took the Clawzord and made it white. So they kind of give it a different paint scheme, which is kind of interesting there. So there's the crazy combo they show on the back. So that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So we got some representation from Dino Charge, Samurai, and of course, can't forget Mighty Morphin. So this is the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger Tigerzord. So it's taking like the White Ranger's Tigerzord from Mighty Morphin and making a Green Ranger version of it. So it's kind of black and green, which looks really interesting. There's definitely some really cool, unique little designs they made for these figures. So pretty neat. And there's the back of the box there. And one of the oh, actually, sorry, never mind. I was about to say that's hasn't been released yet, but that's number 9 right over there. So, never mind. But yeah, lots of different interesting little packs. So there's that. Then, of course, actually, I'll take these down because we have the big packs right here, which come with essentially 2 figures. So here's number 9 right here, which comes with the Dino Charge Red Ranger and T-Rex Zord. So you have, it's like a translucent version of the Red Ranger, and then the actual normal painted Dino Charge Megazord, or somewhat normal painted. Is it even? Oh yeah, I think the bottom of it is on the side there. So yeah, that's interesting. Oh, and the side of the box here actually shows you the Dino Charge Megazord. And yep, that's about it. So, okay, and the back. So these little sets are pretty interesting because it actually says Morph Your Hero. So it's got 3 different modes. It's got like your Red Ranger, the T-Rex Zord, and the Dino Charge Megazord. So that's pretty cool. We'll definitely check that out. And then on the bottom, of course, it shows you all the other sets right there. so that's interesting. Oh, number 2 looks like, is that the Dino Charge Megazord just sold separately? I don't think they released that one yet, so that's another set that's going to release eventually, I guess. Looks to be the same to me, so I might skip that one if that releases. But anyway, so here's your full little combination that they show right there. So yeah, again, really cool. Then we have the Mighty Morphin White Ranger and Tigerzord right here. So your standard White Ranger, standard Tigerzord, pretty basic but pretty cool. Massive Saba right there. Really interesting how all the weapons are so huge. I love the little image right there. We got the Tigerzord. All right. And then here is the back of the box. So again, you can transform, and then here's a crazy little combination right there, which is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. All right. And last but not least, sorry if I have the sniffles in this video. My allergies are killing me, but you know, I gotta do my reviews. So here we have the Samurai Gold Ranger and Clawzord. So again, pretty standard Gold Ranger, Clawzord, although he's very orange. So yeah, there's that. There's the Clawzord. And again, the combinations. So you have the Gold Ranger, that, and the Megazord version, and then a combination there. So lots and lots of different combinations. We got all sorts of figures. These were found at Target. I don't know if they're going to pop up in other stores later or not, but these are the initial wave of releases, the 3 big boxes and the 4 smaller ones. So without further ado, let's get all these open and take a look. Alright, so I got all of the Mixx N Morph figures out of the packaging. Here they are right here. And, well, you know, I'll show you all of them up close, but overall, you know, I'm kind of mixed about these figures. I think there's a lot of good about them, but then there's a lot that kind of annoys me too. So I'm kind of on the fence about these. So let's just kind of talk through them. So right here in the front are kind of your sets that you have, and in the back are the individual figures. So here's one set right here. You have the translucent Dino Charge Red Ranger. So this is what he looks like, as you can tell. So yeah, I mean, these guys have a very unique design to them. So the translucent one looks pretty interesting. It's very muscular, as you can tell, very muscular. And he's got like all the spikes and stuff on him. He's got this massive blaster right here. So he definitely looks very interesting. And yeah, very interesting look to him. As far as articulation on these figures, so essentially, the head is removable and so it can rotate around as well. Then you also have the arms that can rotate around. And because all these pieces are removable, you do have even more articulation because of that. So there's lots of different posability. So the legs can move forward and back. They can go to the side. You can bend at the knees there. You can kind of twist it a little bit. This whole piece here can rotate around. So you have plenty of articulation for these figures. So I can do, you know, all sorts of like action poses and stuff. And so that's kind of neat. Definitely a lot of playability in that sense right there. The figures themselves, you know, they're not show accurate, obviously. I don't know what the word is to describe them, but they're very stylized in a way, you know, like it's something that, some fans may not like, but then some fans may enjoy, and it definitely has a different look to it. And personally, I think the look is actually kind of interesting. I kind of like it. Aside from the oddness of like little pegs sticking out and things like that, overall, I think it's definitely an interesting look, and I kind of think it looks pretty cool. So I'm okay with that part of it. Then this set also came with the little T-Rex Zord that you see right here. So this thing is pretty interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to really get used to this camera that I have here. So if certain parts go out of focus, I apologize. I will try my best to, you know, adjust accordingly. Yeah, oops, this piece came off. This piece does come off too, which is another little annoying piece of it there. Looks interesting though. I think it looks kind of neat. You know, again, you have little weird pegs sticking out in different places, which does make it a little odd. But aside from that, you know, overall, it actually looks kind of decent, the T-Rex Zord. If anybody's wondering, he can sort of, you know, ride the T-Rex Zord if you want. So, I mean, there's not really an official way of doing it, but in case anybody was curious about that there. So yeah, so here's that. And what I will show you now is, well, after I kind of show you some of these other figures up close, these two can sort of combine and form like a Megazord of sorts. And the one thing I want to note is this is what it will eventually look like. Now, this is a different paint scheme that you have here, so this is sold separately. But this is essentially what the combination will look like, just in red. So if you're wondering what these two will look like when you kind of take pieces and combine it, this is what you get here. So they actually sold a version of it separately, but different paint color. And also they sold separately the regular version of the Red Ranger right here. So the translucent one comes in the set, but then if you want the regular one, that comes separate there. So yeah, so that's kind of one thing to keep an eye on, I guess. But very interesting. So the other set then that they have, if I move those back, we have a Mighty Morphin set. So you have the Mighty Morphin White Ranger right here, which looks very interesting. Very massive Saba sword, but looks pretty cool. Yeah, again, very stylized. But I'm kind of digging it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of digging the look here. Definitely takes the kind of the tiger aspects of the White Ranger and his Tigerzord, and really exemplifies it in the suit here. You just see all the lines and everything on the suit, kind of the clawed feet and the almost like Wolverine like claws right there, and I kind of dig that. I think it looks really interesting. It definitely takes that concept of the Zord and really, you know, applies it more to the Ranger suit. And I think it actually is kind of a neat look. You know, again, aside from the odd little peg sticking out there, I actually kind of dig it. I think it's pretty neat. So yeah, pretty cool. Now this guy also comes with the Tigerzord, so it's a two-part set. So here's the Tigerzord right here, and the Tigerzord just looks okay. Looks a little odd, kind of, especially if you look at it from here. Oops, and he's already falling apart. So, yeah, I mean, you know, all in all, okay. You do have a little bit of posability there for the Tigerzord, especially the back part here just looks kind of odd. It looks like it's missing something. Yeah, this part's okay. But again, oops, they have a sort of combination that you can make, and that's like the main focus of these figures here. And so the combination that you can make of the two is similar to this combination right here, except this one is sold separately because it's a different color scheme. They tried to make one almost for the Green Ranger, so it's green and black colored. But this is what it would look like if I kind of made a combination of it there. Obviously these would be white, this one is black, so you can get an individual release, you know, with a different paint scheme right here. But it looks interesting though. I do like this other paint scheme. Definitely pretty neat. And then lastly, we have the Samurai set. So here is the Samurai Gold Ranger. Again, very stylized. The proportions are kind of off because you have like a big chest piece, and the arms always look a little weird because there's kind of a space in between, you know, the shoulder and the actual body there, and the legs. Just the proportions look a little off, but you know, overall though, the design is interesting. Like I like this whole thing that they got going on as kind of like the Clawzord inspired sort of a design. By the way, all the buckles, if I focus on that, will it focus? There we go. It says like PR right there for Power Rangers, so it's kind of neat, a neat little touch there. But yeah, I mean, I actually kind of dig this design. I think it looks really interesting. So yeah, again, props to them on coming up with interesting designs for these figures. And then of course, the Gold Ranger has got his Clawzord right here, oops, which is already falling apart. Some of these things are very flimsy, and that's one of my complaints about them. They easily kind of fall apart and just look a little odd. But here's the Clawzord, so looks interesting, pretty basic, not too much paint. The claws, you know, do open, so you do have that. Oops, again, kind of falling apart here. And this is the type of thing that annoys me about these sorts of figures. That's why the armored figures I'm not that big of a fan of, because they can be really annoying about that. Like, they can fall apart pretty easily. You know, I know these toys are designed for kids, but I feel like if I was a kid, I would almost get frustrated with, you know, stuff kind of falling apart, you know. So this does move too, by the way. I don't think I showed that. So I think they look great, but some of the actual functionality of it is not the best. It just doesn't work as nicely as I would have hoped. You know, maybe kids will overlook it, but it does kind of annoy me when certain pieces aren't on the best. Like some of these, like this, you know, for example, this arm looks like it's about to pop right off, and that's because I really just can't push it in more. Like it's so hard to do. Some of them I really like had to put so much effort into, and kids probably wouldn't be able to do it. And so it's bad because like this half of it came already attached, and then this half was like in pieces and you're supposed to attach it on. Except now this is super stiff because I had to attach it on, and this piece isn't even all the way on. So it's a little odd. You know, for these types of figures where it's meant to be taken apart and put together, I expect it to work nicely because that's the main feature, you know what I mean? So that's kind of my little thing about that. So anyways, let's do some combinations of these guys. So let's sort of, we'll take this Dino Charge set first here. I'm gonna pop this off because this keeps falling off anyways. So we'll remove the gun. And I apologize again if things get out of focus here and there. This is the first time I'm using this new Canon camera, and I wanna, you know, try it out and see how things go. Okay, so then they remove the body. So the nice thing about these, and I'll do all sorts of crazy combinations later, but you can take out pieces and combine them all and do all sorts of crazy stuff with these. So that's definitely pretty interesting. So anyways, they take these pieces apart, and then they pop off the hands right here. The arms, rather. Okay, so you have that. And then they actually take the legs here, and it pops off from the side. Some of these are going to be a little hard to do with the camera in my face. So it goes in like that. Pops off from the side like that. Yeah. Oh. I'm knocking over all sorts of other pieces. Yeah. Okay, so I have that there. And then what I'm going to do is I have this piece here. Looks like I'm going to take off the arms. Take off this one too. Okay. And then we're going to take off the legs here. And this one too. Okay, so then we're left with this. And then I'm going to take the legs here and attach it on. Yeah, like so. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to take, oops, the hands here, the arms. Attach them on like that. Okay, so you can kind of get an idea of what's happening here. And we're going to actually take these feet here, and looks like we're just going to attach it on to the side now. So that kind of clicked in place nicely. Okay, there we go. Very nice. And then, last but not least, we have the head right here, which just sticks up top there. Actually, no, not last but not least. There's another piece in the back. If I turn this around, they basically take these little pieces here and attach them on. So, you know, for reference, I'll just grab this one here so you can kind of see. This just clicks in the back there, and this clicks in the back there. Okay. So, here it is from the back. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. So it doesn't use all the pieces, so there's still some other leftover pieces from that combination. But there's what it looks like. And then for comparison, here's the other one that's sold separately. And they both look kind of neat, you know? They definitely, the same mold, basically. I mean, I'm looking at it, it looks the same exact thing. So I really can interchange pieces if I wanted to, which is kind of nice. And I can make my own individual T-Rex Zord that's this color. I have my own individual Red Ranger if I wanted to, so I can make all sorts of combinations here. But this is what it looks like, and it's pretty interesting. And in this mode, I mean, you still have lots of articulation. This can rotate all the way around. This arm kind of gets in the way a little bit, but, you know, this one too, I can still move that there. I can, you know, kick right there. Oops, this just popped off from the back. The head can turn around all the way and stuff. You know, I can bend at the knees. I mean, I have all sorts of articulation, and it looks pretty interesting. It's definitely a very unique design based on the Dino Charge Megazord, but still different, its own stylized version of it. And I think it looks pretty neat. So, you know, I like that part of it. It's just some of the combinations, some of the pieces are a little tight to get, and it's a little bit annoying to kind of combine some of these things. But, you know, let's move some of these pieces off to the side there. So there's that, and of course you have this Dino Charge Megazord. So if I wanted to, and I didn't want the translucent pieces, I can obviously use the regular Red Ranger that's sold separately. So I have those options there. Now, next, oops, let's just do the Gold Ranger since he fell over. All right, here we go. So I have the Gold Ranger, and I have the Clawzord right here. So with this, what I'm going to do is, again, detach the bottom half there. Then I'm going to detach that and this, so I'm left with that, and then I'm going to detach this actually too. So let's take these off. There's so much to keep track of. I have to keep looking at the instructions to remember all the pieces. This thing then I'm going to also take apart, so let's take this off, and this comes off too, and it looks like these are going to come off too. And then I think we'll leave it at that. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we have this here, so we're going to attach these pieces onto the side, and again, this one doesn't click into place. You just have to push it, and that kind of annoys me because it's also very stiff. Like, I really have to put effort to turn it, and that's annoying. And then on this side, this one clicks. So it's like, why can't they all be like this? Why can't all the joints be like that? I think that's how it's supposed to be designed, but and it's not just a fluke with one of these figures, because almost all of them have the same problem, where like there's certain joints that are annoying to get on there. So that's just a little, I get picky about stuff like that, so that's just me personally. So anyways, we have this here. And we have the legs, and we're going to pop off the bottom part of the legs. That came off nicely. Okay. And then we're going to attach that on. Yeah, like so. Okay. So we have that. Then we're actually going to take this piece here, and we're going to break it apart. And we're going to attach this piece in here. So you got the weird little peg sticking out the front, which is a little odd, but it is what it is. And then this one, is this even in? See, it didn't click, it throws me off. It's sitting in there, I guess. Okay. All right, so we have that. Then we have the actual claws here, so we will attach that on. There. Oops, I'm knocking stuff over. Attach that on like so. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this here and we're going to break it into two pieces. And essentially this is going to attach on right there. So the box actually shows it a little bit different, but I'm going by the instructions. So you can kind of, obviously you can set it up however you want. I mean, that's the beauty of it. You can really decide how you want to make this little combination. It's not like it's show accurate anyways, so you can't really say, you know, you want to do something show accurate specifically. But the actual box, if I just kind of grab that real quick, oops, shows the little sword spike thingy pointing upwards, but the instructions show them pointing downwards like that. So there's that. So of course you have some leftover pieces here. I believe they're not used for anything. For comparison, you know, this one does look a little odd to me, and the legs in particular too are a little weird. Here's this one for comparison. Yeah, this is gonna like fall over. It's not even like proportioned properly. It's a little weird. Yeah. Okay. So then I have this right here. Oops, and now this guy's falling over too. Stay! Goodness! What a mess. These things can be annoying. But anyways, there's your little comparison right there. And then if I turn it around from the back, you have that comparison too. So you get the idea. Let's move him to the back there, and we'll move him to the back as well. Okay, last but not least, we have the Mighty Morphin figures right here. So these guys, obviously then will be based on, we'll see this combined design right there. So again, let's take off Saba right here. And we're going to break off the bottom piece. Okay. And then we're going to break off these pieces here. And we're going to take the legs and break off the bottom piece there. So you kind of get the trend, right? At least for these combinations. You're really breaking off the same types of pieces for these combinations with some slight differences. It's really where the Zords come into play is where you have your unique differences. So we're going to take that off, and then we're going to pull these apart as well. Okay, and this falls apart. So we have this right here, and this is actually going to turn to the side like that, and it's going to attach on to the bottom piece. Like, yeah. So there we go. Whew, had to put some force into that one. Okay. Then, looks like we're going to take this piece here, and this is essentially going to become the foot. So you're going to kind of rotate it upwards like that. So it's going to look like this. So I'm going to do the same here. Now this sword actually sticks out from here. This was the tail, so that actually comes out from there, and then you can push this down right there. And this folds up kind of like that, except folds around like that. There we go. Just like that. Because then you're going to go in here and attach it on like that. And here's where I have another issue with the figure and the way that it's designed here. This little joint piece is not designed well, because it might be a little hard to see on this one, but when you bend it, this thing, like, I feel like it's breaking something there. And the reason why I say that, why I show that, is like if you look here, if you look at the bottom of the plastic there, you're starting to see little marks as if it's like breaking the pieces. And I'm afraid it's like damaging the plastic, but I don't know of any other way to do that. So, I mean, it's really what it is, you know? So you just got to be careful with that, I guess. Just keep an eye on that. And yeah, not really much else you can do about it though. Okay, and then we have these pieces here, and so these are gonna go inside here and stick on like that, and inside here stick on like that, and this fell off, so let's attach that back on. And then we have the helmet like that, and of course we can take the sword again, stick it in like there. Okay, so the leftover pieces, again, you got like the Ranger body, some other leg pieces, and Saba right here. So for comparison then, so you have the two different versions. This was from the set, and this is the individual release. These are the two that you have right there. Both look pretty interesting though. You know, again, these designs, they're not for everybody. Not everybody's going to like them, but I personally think they look kind of cool. They're very stylized, very interesting, but I kind of dig the designs. It's definitely unique and interesting looking, so yeah. So there's that, guys. I mean, these are all these combined versions, the sort of Megazords, if you will. But, I mean, the best part about the Mixx N Morph figures is that there's endless possibilities. If you guys know anything about the Zord builder for the Power Rangers Megazords, I mean, there's so many combinations that you can make, and the same thing applies here. So I can get crazy with these. So you want to see me get crazy? Let's do this. Let's see just how crazy I can get. So I have this Red Ranger here, and I'm gonna break him apart into all sorts of pieces as well. All right, so I'm gonna just go wild. It's time to get wild, right? Isn't that what Tyler says in the show? Let's break off this little piece here. Okay, all right, so we got this. Let's start with this. I think this is a good starting point. Let's go for, let's break off this guy right here. Let's do that. Steal this, and okay, let's attach that on here. All right, I like it, I like it. Let's break this off, and let's break off these pieces. So there's all sorts of combinations that you can make here, as you can see. Let's break this off, let's take off these pieces here. All right, okay, we're having some fun now. Let's attach this on here. Okay, all right, we got this. Oh, okay, let's take this off here, and let's actually attach this onto here. Except I want to take off this piece right here because I want to actually attach this one instead, the black one. So I'm gonna attach that on here. Ooh, and then I'm gonna take, actually no, I'm gonna take this piece here, attach that on. Okay, all right. And then, let's see, ooh, let's take this, break that off, and oh, actually break this off too. Yeah. Oh, this piece fell off. Great. Attach that on. Let's break. Yeah, some of these are so hard to take apart. Like, you can see all these pieces right here just to get an idea of the craziness that you can have. I have this, and let's take the helmet from here. Yeah. And attach that on there. Look at that. I don't know what this is, but you know what? It's not enough. We need to go even crazier. Let's do this, guys. I think I'm not satisfied right now. We need more craziness. Okay, all right, let's see. What can we do here? Let's grab this and attach this onto the sword right here because we can. So we got that craziness, okay. Let's grab a foot and attach it right. No, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Ooh, let's attach this gun. Okay, we got this gun right here, this blaster, and we're gonna attach it right back there, okay. And we're gonna attach, let's break off this piece here. Okay, and we're gonna attach this right here because why not, you know? I mean, of course. And then we're gonna have, oh goodness, all right, let's get creative here. Oh, let's attach this giant piece, like right here. And then, oh man, this is craziness. Let's attach this right here, and bam. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right here. But my point is, you can have all sorts of crazy combinations, as you can see right here, and this thing's already fell apart. But yeah, this is it, guys. These are the Mixx N Morph figures, and your enjoyment out of these is really going to come from your creativity. Like, what kinds of crazy combinations can you come up with? Can you try and come up with a combination that combines like a million things? Who knows? But this is it. And, you know, overall, I think they're okay. I think kids might enjoy them, although you have to be careful because there's certain ones that are really tight and hard to do, and that might be difficult for kids, certain joints that are a little hard to kind of connect or disconnect. But regardless, I think they have very interesting designs, very cool designs, and it's fun to kind of mix and match them and see. So I think they're okay. I think they're kind of interesting. So, I mean, there's that. You guys can see the video and make your own judgment based on that. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and if you want to see more Mixx N Morph reviews, if they release more of these figures in the future, let me know, because honestly, I'm kind of on the fence if I want to buy more or not. I mean, I think they're kind of neat, but there's not much more to them. You mix and match, you get more pieces, you do the same thing. So I don't know if I'm gonna buy more, so let me know if you guys want to see more. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up, post a comment, and let me know, and then if they release more, I'll decide from there. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you thought about the video and audio quality as well, because this is the first time I'm recording with my Canon EOS 70D camera, and I want to see how that goes. So let me know. I appreciate all the feedback. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Look at this monstrosity. You see this here? You see this? This is all one piece. One piece right here. Now I bet if I pick it up it's all gonna fall apart, but look at this, ready? Let me try and see if I can pick it up. Oh yeah, it fell apart, but like that's one piece. Obviously this just doesn't even make any sense as a combination, but that's pretty crazy that you can even do that. Like you can just have, I don't even know what that is right there. Like it's a mess, but it's pretty interesting. I didn't use all the pieces. I still had a couple of other pieces. It just got to be too much to handle, so there's that. But yeah, try all sorts of crazy combinations and see what you can come up with. There's a lot of fun, unique things that you can do. So anyways, like me on Facebook at facebook.com/theworldofha. Check out theworldofha.com, and thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later.